The expense scandal that I've been telling you about has opened up a whole can of worms. It all began when reports started flying about now independent Conservative MLA Derek Fildebrandt renting his apartment out on Airbnb while still claiming the accommodations expenses allotted to those that live outside of Edmonton. And I also told you that this is not specifically a Derek Fildebrandt problem, but the problem of many MLAs and other politicians. It appears Derek Fildebrandt had a lot of enemies, even within his own party. He was the low-hanging fruit to some, so it was him that had to take the hit for everyone else. Again, I'm not excusing this behavior. I think it's great that we're learning about it. For one, it's not very conservative to abuse taxpayer money, and it's wrong. But then it was uncovered that 31 out of the 63 that were allowed to claim maximum expenses actually did. I think we'd all be okay with this if it was a reasonable amount, but we're talking about $19.30 a month here. And now it's just snowballing. NDP MLAs Graham Suka and Brian Malkinson also share a place and charge the taxpayer $34 grand. And even Aaron Babcock and Shay Anderson were found expensing stuff under the accommodations claims, and they only live half an hour away from Edmonton. The strangest part about all of this is that a lot of it is within the rules. But this isn't new. Politicians have been abusing taxpayer money for decades. Remember when then progressive conservative MLA Thomas Lukaszuk expensed around 20 grand for a cell phone bill? What about these tens of thousands on hosting fees or $250 on car detailing? These guys will even go out of their way to expense 83 cents for mileage. It must cost more for admin fees to process that. Well, now the United Conservative Party is doing the right thing by coming clean on an internal audit, and they've revealed they made some expense errors totaling about $560. Okay, you know what? That's not so bad. It shows us that they're not being as careful with our money as we want, but they've been honest, and you know, I don't see the NDP doing any audits, and they're just as guilty. But that's not stopping these hypocrites from using this entire thing to attack the United Conservative Party. These figures being released actually seem like honest calculation errors, like Angela Pitt's 1160 and Jason Nixon's 2075. The highest infraction was Don McIntyre's 180.05. It's good that they did this audit, but these politicians could take it a step further. They didn't address the elephant in the room of maxed out accommodations expenses and double dipping in this thing. Obviously, the rules need to change for all politicians, not just the UCP. If you're a small business owner, you know that you need to keep track of all of this stuff, and if you can't get away with these things, why can they? It's a total double standard. I told you the Legislative Assembly's office said they audit politicians once a year, but that's clearly not working if we see all of this needless waste coming out of the woodwork. They obviously need to do better. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks so much for watching. Have you heard that YouTube is cracking down on content that they think is controversial? That could mean anything, and it could mean it affects us over here at the Rebel. So we want to build a conservative alternative. If you can help us out, visit theycan'tstopus.ca for all of the details.